We usually hold out to cover the Quest software updates until Meta launches on their official blog and gives us at least most of the details, although we have to go digging to find the rest of them. But enough of you were asking about the rumors about v66, especially in its close proximity to v65 having just come out, so I decided to take a look and dig into a little bit of it for you. Now, if you really want to be on the cutting edge of Quest software, you're always interested in the updates, the best thing you can do is actually join the public test channel. This is where they open it up for people to check out the updates early, they help test them, and then that ultimately decides whether they're ready to put them into the next update or not. I'll leave a link down below to make it easy if you did want to go join that. But so far, we're seeing things already like wrist buttons are potentially being added to hand tracking. And to be honest with you, the hand tracking is something that I go back and forth on. I like it for quick navigation, throwing the headset on, but I recently tried to play Demio again with just hand tracking because there wasn't a battery in one of my controllers, and it reminds me how finicky it can still be. So the idea of wrist buttons instead of those weird hand motions where you're looking at your fingers and trying to tap them together, I like the idea of that. There's some details about quick pairing, which people are speculating might have something to do with Bluetooth options, especially with the new Xbox Quest coming to make it easier to get your Xbox controller paired up. I know some of you had said in the comments too, you were having issues with v65 messing up using Quest Pro controllers with the Quest 3. And it looks like on Twitter, at least one person, Sora Twilight, is mentioning that it fixed their Pro controller issues they were having. We'll have full details when the update actually rolls out to people, but if you really want to stay ahead on this stuff too, I'd highly recommend following Luna over on Twitter. We've mentioned them before. They're someone that is always on the cutting edge of what's coming to Quest, and probably someone you'll see mentioned later in the news about leaks and stuff too. You know, we keep you updated here on Quest 3 giveaways, whether they're ours or ones from other companies, and people from our community here have actually won some of those other Quest 3s that we've told you about here. We've got another giveaway. 3 Quest 3s are coming out from Stoic Entertainment. By the looks of the giveaway, it looks like only about 200 people have entered for 3 Quest 3s, so the chances right now are actually really good. This is to celebrate their launch of Tank Arena Ultimate League. This is a 4v4 cockpit tank shooter game. There's different classes of tanks, all different types of avatars, cosmetics, and I actually got to get in early and play this before launch last week with a bunch of the creators you probably know: Beardo, Benjo, Otterworldly, Genghis VR, Justin Weeb, and we had a really fun time. We hung out in the social lobby where there's different little games you can do while waiting for matches, or a very familiar soccer type game. Watch out for the full launch of this game this Thursday. There is a pre-order discount on the game if you want to order it early, or you can wish list it. Make sure you get entered in that giveaway too. Thanks to Stoic for sponsoring this week's news and for letting us get in early and get to check this out with the other creators, because that was really fun.
What an exhilarating tank experience.
We've talked before about all the leaks about this Quest 3S, which is also known as a Quest 3 Lite. Basically a headset that would enter the market to allow the Quest 3 to develop faster and further, because all developers would be developing for the Quest 3 or the Quest 3 Lite, which both would be using the same Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor. Now, one of our favorite leakers over on Twitter, Luna, dropped, from what all the information they have heard from multiple sources, an infographic that walks through all of the details that they believe are the exact specs for this upcoming Quest 3S, Quest 3 Lite, also codenamed the Ventura or the Panther. And basically at a glance, it really looks like this thing is a Quest 2 with just that Quest 3 processor and the mixed reality color cameras on it. Familiar figures you're going to hear here with the 1832 by 1920 per eye, the 20 PPD, which was the same the Quest 2 had. Fresnel lenses with 3 position IPD adjustment. Again, same thing. The Quest 2 had those 3 clickable moving lenses inside with 3 different settings. Even a Quest 2 style glasses spacer, which really makes it sound possible this could even be almost the same shell using the same style of facial interface. That part we don't know, but it could mean accessories could move forward for this. It was a big point of debate whether or not this was going to come with controllers, because they were saying they were trying to make it much cheaper and people thought maybe no controllers, but it looks like this would include the Touch Plus controllers, the same ones the Quest 3 uses, and a very similar camera array. 4 infrared tracking cameras, 2 4 megapixel RGB pass-through cameras, and then 2 IR illuminators for depth sensing. But it would use the same type of software the Quest 3 is, such as the automated space setup, inside-out body tracking, and multimodal tracking. And this goes along with a lot of the reports we've seen out of Bloomberg, Gurman, other things that had said it would likely come with Fresnel lenses, it would be similar to the Quest 2 in design, and really the whole purpose of this headset is to make a cheaper headset that can do the same full color mixed reality pass-through, so that they could replace and of course eventually stop supporting the Quest 2. What I will say about our history with the Quest lineup and leaks, most of the time they seem to come completely completely true and highly accurate. It's almost as if Meta is controlling these leaks themselves and controlling the narrative, which is quite possible. I guess the big question now is, are they going to have some sort of show in the first half of the year? Or are they going to hold out for Connect and potentially launch this because it is supposed to come out this year? Upload VR also helping do a deep dive on all the rumors here and basically saying that if all this is correct, the Quest 2 production has stopped, and that's why they've lowered the price on it and all its accessories. They're trying to sell out of all of it and then launch this new Lite version. What do you think about this? Have you been holding out waiting for a Quest 3? If a Lite came out like this, would you go for that? To me personally, the Quest 3, one of the best things about it is its optics. So to think that there is a cheaper one that still uses those same optics the Quest 2 had makes me say it's probably still worth reaching for the Quest 3. But let me know what you think in the comments. We reported to you a while back that LG and Meta were in partnership now talking about some sort of headset that could rival the Apple Vision Pro. This last week that kind of got called into question as there were some rumors that this had been dissolved, this wasn't going to work out. But then as news has come of LG unveiling some seriously impressive display specs, micro OLED displays, 4K resolution, 10,000 nits brightness. LG and Meta have finally stepped in to say that basically the partnership is still there, but they are going to slow it down a little bit. They're saying they're controlling its pace, and instead of a successor that would be in 2025, this would now probably be coming more like 2027. This still left a lot of people scratching their heads, especially at the fact that Meta had recently announced that they're rebranding a lot of the Quest stuff to Horizon, opening up the ecosystem, and how other companies are going to be helping them make headsets for it, like Asus, Lenovo, and then of course the Xbox Quest. And it was odd, even in all of that, they didn't mention anything about LG. This definitely feels like the first steps to possibly something dissolving or changing between the two. Although LG is saying that it is still planning to work together, 2027 is a long ways away, especially with the fact that Apple is now reportedly launching a not Pro Vision next year, and the Vision Pro 2 is potentially in the works, when all of this was really meant to compete with that. It's likely that if Apple really is saying that the Vision Pro isn't selling as well as they were hoping, that might be another reason LG is considering slowing this down. It's very early information, so we will keep you posted here on more as it develops and as we hear what's actually going on. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, we're actually going to be attending MomoCon this week. We're going to be hanging out there with VR Zone, showing off VR to people, talking to other people about it, hopefully hanging out with Tech Man yet again. So if you're someone who's already thinking about attending MomoCon, or if you're in Atlanta and you want to come out, let me know. It would be awesome to have you there. We can even play some games together. There's going to be like 60 quests all set up in one spot. We can play multiplayer games and hang out and do stuff. And then the last couple weeks, we've also been talking about here locally where we're at near Portland, Oregon. We're going to do some sort of a meetup and just try and give away a bunch of the extra accessories that we have from all of the years of Quest reviews now. It's looking like that is going to probably end up happening June 8th. I'll leave another link in case you haven't. If you're local here and you haven't joined the Discord yet, we've set up a tiny Discord just for people in Oregon, Southern Washington that want to make it out to that. And so far, I haven't even gotten half through the stuff, and there's already over 3 heaping boxes of accessories, and that doesn't count the like 40 VR cases that I have all in a shower here. So a couple local things depending on where you're at, where we can either hang out or you can come get some stuff potentially from me. So make sure you do join that Discord if you're here, or if you are in Atlanta and you want to come out, let me know and we can hang out. We made a video before covering the most expensive apps on the Quest, most of them training things for work. Well, there is a new record holder with a $1,000 app on the Quest. We told you recently how App Lab, the sub store that is not the official Oculus store, is now getting more access and getting more exposure on the main official Quest store. Well, over on App Lab, there is now a $1,000 Weld VR app. This is the maximum price possible for an app on the Meta store, unlike the Apple store, which says they can be up to $10,000, or the Google Play store that's only $400. This is a training app that's designed to teach the basics of welding. In theory, a $1,000 app is much cheaper than all of the equipment and training you would need, although I'm sure there's still a big gap between learning it in this and being able to just go weld something. But if you're curious about welding, I don't imagine maybe you're gonna go buy the $1,000 app, but there's a 20-minute trial you can actually check out. If you do decide to check it out, let me know in the comments, especially if there's a welder out there. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments on how the app was. We know outside of the MetaQuest headset, another set of smart glasses is more what I'd call them rather than some type of headset, is the Ray-Ban Metas. Between microphones, cameras, and even AI built in, well, Meta's developing the next thing, which is AI-powered earbuds, also with built-in cameras, which seems odd for an earbud. Apparently, this is an internal project at Meta and has been called Camera Buds. This was reported on over on Mixed News and citing different reports, so take it all with a grain of salt. The report mentions that Meta has been exploring the possibility of developing earphones since at least 2019. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that they have looked at and may not continue the road on, or this even could have been research that went into building the Ray-Bans, but this is pretty much everything the Ray-Bans already do, and they seem to be banking pretty heavily on that. So I'd be surprised to see a set of earphones that end up with some sort of cameras attached. But more and more as we see these AI assistants, there's been other weird uses we've seen, especially some of the ones over on MKBHD's channel of like the ones that you wear and his scathing reviews of them. I'm curious, since most of you out there are either interested in VR or Quest owners, are the Ray-Bans something you're interested? Did you consider, have you gotten? Would you be interested in some sort of headphones or earbuds that have cameras and AI? I think the cameras just seem really weird for earbuds. Maybe the AI assistant, especially if it can actually get to the point where it can translate language in real time and you could take your earbuds with you traveling and talk to people through them. That would be really cool. A lot of cool things in the future going on, things locally for us here with the channel, thanks to all of you, things in the entire industry with, who knows, maybe weird earbuds. But let me know what's got you excited out there in the VR realm right now, what you're looking forward to. Batman and Alien have been on my mind ever since they announced them, but what about you? Thank you once again for being here, and I'll see you in another reality.